All right, just want to give you an update on a newly issued tornado warning. This is for Charles County, and it does include La Plata. This is until 4:30, so here we are live at 4:08. I am going to put Storm Track on here for you right now, and this is just Doppler radar indicated, so nothing that is confirmed, but we're watching it very, very closely as we head through the next 20 minutes or so. I'm on duty with Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson, and of course Mark Pena is also here as we scan our skies for you. And I do want to show you here as we're getting a little bit more information on this tornado warning. Right here we go, and you can see it flashing right here, and that is until 4:30. Now on top of that, we also have severe thunderstorm warnings for Fairfax, and that is also until 4:30. Flash flood warning for Fairfax, including Burke and Mount Vernon. Also, well, that one is until 8 o'clock, and then on top of that, severe thunderstorm warning until 4:30, and that is for Charles and Prince William County. But I do want to zoom in just a little bit closer for some of you who may be looking at areas where the tornado warning is located. If you're near Hilltop, and we'll go in even closer for you. If you know some of these smaller neighborhoods, these are generally subdivisions. Potomac Shores over toward La Plata. La Plata by far is the biggest city within this region. And once again, this is for Charles County, Lyons Corner, and then over into Marshall Corner. I do want to flip this over here for you, and I'm just going to show you really quickly here what it looks like on our radar sweep. And you can see how this storm really beginning to come on in, and this is moving on off toward the north and east. Our NORAD, let's switch this over for you right here, and there you go. And you can see our NORAD is showing over toward McConchy, Potomac Shores, over toward Brentland, and then over toward Newton. La Plata, this is the area that you need to be extra careful at this point. We also have a lot of hail associated with this. Hilltop, and this is again a tornado warning, Charles County, and this is until 4:30. So here we are, if you look at the top of the screen there, until 4:10. This is going to continue to move on off toward the north and east, and we are going to see the tornado warning continue for another 20 minutes or so. I'll just give you some brand new information for you on this. Give me 1 second here as we are pulling this all together for you. And once again, there it is for you, the tornado warning within the severe thunderstorm warning. And this is moving on off toward the north and east. So watching everything closely as we head through the next 20 minutes. And for that matter, the severe weather risk is going to continue as we head through the next several hours or so. At 4:05, a severe thunderstorm that was capable of producing a tornado was located near Port Tobacco River, moving toward the northeast at just around 25 miles per hour. For those of you who are in the direct path of this, if it does become an actual realized tornado, which it is not right now, which is radar indicated, you will find those damaging winds. This is the time that you need to seek shelter immediately. If you're watching us in Waldorf or La Plata, this will be in your area as we move into the 4:30 hour. Other locations impacted by the potential for this tornadic thunderstorm not only include Port Tobacco Village, but also Pomfret, Port Tobacco, Welcome, Ironside, Ripley, and Bryan's Road, if you're familiar with any of those areas. Once again, this is the time when you need to seek shelter. You need to go to a basement, interior room, lowest corner or lowest area of your house. If you don't have a basement, go into an interior room like a closet or a bathroom, and just stay there, of course, with your First Alert weather app until the storm clears. But once again, need to be very clear that at 4:05, a severe thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado was located near Port Tobacco River, moving to the northeast around 25 miles per hour. And once again, we do not have any indication that this is actually on the ground. However, we just have radar indicated, and within that tornado warned area, around it I should say, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that is for Charles and Prince William counties. It does include Dow City, even though Dow City, you are well to the west of this, and not going to have to worry about the tornado warning impacting you. This tornado warning is just over southern Maryland, and we're going to head over to Veronica Johnson with a little bit more.
Let's go ahead and switch over now to Max 1, guys, if we can. If we'll switch over to Max 1. There we go. Okay, so as Steve has been telling you, until 4:30 p.m. this evening, it's for Charles County. So it's areas of Bennsville, Hilltop area, La Plata included, Port Tobacco Village. And this is the storm that we're talking about here. It's just to the west of 301. You can see some heavier rain and a number of severe thunderstorm warnings out for portions of Fairfax County and also eastern Prince William William County, but right there in Charles County and making its way northeast toward areas of Bentonville by 416, to St. Charles by 422, to Waldorf by 425, Piscataway by 430. Again, this storm is capable of producing some high winds. So if you're in any of these areas, Bentonville, Hilltop area, La Plata, Port Tobacco Village, or any of the areas where this storm is headed to, like Brandywine, Ashbox, Rosaryville, you really need to get to your safe place right now. That means putting as many walls in between you and the storm outside. So get down to that lowest level if you can. Again, this will last until 4:30. National Weather Service issuing this. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm working here with our weather computer right now, and I'm going to just advance this out just a little bit, this warning, to show you the very latest update. So here's the storm that National Weather Service issued on. So areas around Waldorf, Malcolm by 4:35, and then on toward Bald Eagle by 4:48, as well as Dunkirk and Chesapeake. The storm capable of producing some high winds. Again, that's according to what we're seeing here on radar. That's the reason why the National Weather Service issued it. Also monitoring with meteorologist Steve Rudin here some of the local storm reports that are out, as well as what National Weather Service has been talking about in their chat. Again, the potential for some hail, 3/4 size with this particular system. We've got First Alert Storm Tracker out on the road right now, so we can show you that even up to our north and west of there in Leesburg, Virginia area, some of you folks are probably getting some pretty heavy rain right now. So it's not just the damaging wind threat with some of these storms coming through from now, lasting up until 10 p.m., but also the possibility of picking up some very heavy rain in a short period of time. So drenching storm is a possibility that may lead to some flooding. You're seeing the wipers going very quickly. It's one of the reasons that we sent Storm Track out on the road just a few moments ago, is to capture some of the images, some of the video of what is taking place across the area. Again, right now, First Alert Storm Tracker out on the road, making their way through areas of Loudoun County. So Loudoun County, Montgomery County, you're going to be getting some of that very heavy rain. I'm going to show you here some of the warnings that are currently out for the area. Anywhere in orange, these are severe thunderstorm warnings. So they include Fairfax, they include areas of eastern Prince William, Charles County, and that box in red right there, lasting for about another 15 minutes, is the tornado warning. Again, that may be crossing right over 301. So if you've got family, friends, you know they're on the road, leaving work this time of day, go ahead and give them a call. Let them know that they need to find a safe place, safe shelter, get off the road if you can. Also, another severe thunderstorm warning for extreme southern tip of St. Mary's County. Steve, you've got some times on those?
All right, so let's give you a recap here. We do not have any storm reports yet. I'm going to do a storm report query for you right now, and when I click on this, we have one actually way towards southern Maryland, but that is actually outside of that warned area, and that's from that earlier storm that was warned on. So no storm reports yet for the area that has the severe thunderstorm warning, Charles County over toward Bentonville, and then, of course, over toward the La Plata area. But just want to give you a little bit of an update here in terms of what we're looking at. This is a brand new update. Here we are at 4:16. Tornado warning remains in effect until 4:30. That is for about another 14 minutes. At 4:12, so just about 4 minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Port Tobacco River. And Veronica and Mark, this is moving toward the northeast at around 25 miles per hour. So at Waldorf and La Plata, this will make its way over to your area in just about 10 to 12 minutes, and this is the time that you need to seek shelter and to continue as we move through the next half hour or so. And just because once we get out of this tornado warning, there's likely to be additional warnings on the way. We also have the severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect for a good chunk of southern Maryland, then a smaller area over into Fairfax County. We'll head in a little bit closer in Annandale and Burke. Of course, these are more densely populated areas. That is until 4:30, and on top of that, we also have the flood warnings. You know, flood warnings can cause big problems around here, especially considering the time of day. And it's been increased now in size. We have two flood warnings at this time. The first one, I'll zoom in a little bit closer here before we head back to Veronica, and that's until 8 o'clock. And you can see it does include Old Town Alexandria over toward National Airport, a good chunk of D.C. over toward Anacostia, and then over toward the Wharf area and Georgetown, Cherrydale over in the Arlington area, East Falls, Church, Merrifield. This is a flash flood warning, which means flooding is actually occurring, and now has been expanded a little bit farther off toward the south. This is also until 8 o'clock. Mount Vernon, Newington, Lorton, Burke, and then over toward Hadley. Mark, do you have anything new for us?
Just looking at the radar scans right now, these storms have pretty much intensified just to our south and west in a really bad part of town for a lot of people on the roads, especially lining up along I-95. Some flash flood warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, and even the tornado warning that we're all watching at this time. So all hazards are in place for pretty much the entire D.C. metro at this time. The atmosphere is very conducive for any of these storms to turn tornadic. So while we do have the one tornado warning down south, we all need to make sure that we're taking shelter indoors and staying off the roads. If you're about to head outdoors, I highly suggest that you stay off the roads as this line of storms continues to push on through and intensify. Looking down towards the south and east, or south and west, I should say, down towards Annandale, some very, very high rainfall rates coming in. Springfield along I-95, Lorton, Annandale. This is all heading towards Alexandria at this time. And then, of course, our tornado warning. We are still monitoring that, looking towards La Plata. And I'm going to toss over to Veronica now. What are you seeing?
I'm taking a look at some of the latest areas. So every now and then, we'll see a little bit of realignment with this storm system, a little bit of realignment here. If you guys can take me at the wall, that would be great. We've got another tornado warning now just issued. So we'll focus on this latest one that was just issued. I'm going to zoom right into that. So latest, this is for Alexandria, Virginia, until 4:45. A new tornado warning issued includes the counties of Arlington as well as Fairfax, currently for Braddock, for Franconia, for Huntington. And that is this particular cell right here. So let me just go ahead and zoom in as tight as I can. And you can see it's areas from Franconia to Alexandria likely to be impacted. Of course, very heavy populated area this time of the day. And as I track this storm system out, you can see some of the areas impacted along the way. Moving very quickly. Mark, do you have a read on what the speed is on that particular warning?
Yes, I'm getting it right now.
I can give it.
Okay, yeah, please.
Yeah, I'll pick it up for you on this one, and Mark's going to look at some more stuff. This is until 4:45 at 4:18. So here we are 2 minutes ago. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Franconia, over the Springfield area, the Springfield Mixing Bowl. This is moving to the northeast, Veronica, at around 25 miles per hour. This is going into a very densely populated area. Once again, it's radar indicated. We do not have any indications of an actual tornado that is on the ground. It includes south central Arlington County, east central Fairfax County, and then, of course, the city of Alexandria, and it just barely hits over toward the southern portion of Old Town Alexandria. So that southern portion of the Capitol Beltway, 495, here we are at 420, a busy rush hour. We'll go in just a little bit closer for you on Max 3, and you can see the areas that are going to be impacted by this warning over toward Russell Road and Braddock Road, the Braddock Road Metro, and then over toward Burgundy Village. Veronica, we're going to get some pick cameras for you in just a moment.
Exactly. We've got meteorologist Steve Rudin here working behind the scenes. We've got meteorologist Mark Pena also working behind the scenes. So again, the very latest warning, new tornado warning just issued. This was based on radar signature, potential damaging winds, potential rotation, all the way down to the ground here for cities of Alexandria, for Arlington, for Fairfax. So this will be Braddock. This will be you folks around Franconia, Huntington area. We're going to switch over to Brad Bell now, reporter Brad Bell, who's over in, which area is that, guys? In Walt.
Yeah, I'm in Upper Marlboro right now. I'm at the school headquarters in Upper Marlboro where we're getting ready to do a story about Prince George's County Public Schools. And the storm has arrived, and I was listening intently as you talk about those tornado warnings because, they're just to the south of us. And as you were discussing it, we could really hear the thunder, see the lightning, the thunder is starting to pick up, and now we're in another downpour. We're actually under a tree, so it's not dumping on us a whole lot right now, but there you go. I think you might have heard that thunder. So we're on the northern edge of this cell that you've been describing moving into Waldorf, and the sky certainly got black and have opened up in recent minutes, and a moderate downpour right now. Nothing that's going to cause any flooding, but just a pretty healthy, steady rain at this point. We're hearing less thunder, seeing less lightning than we did a week ago when we were also in Upper Marlboro as the big storm cell passed through. But certainly this is a significant storm, as you may hear some more thunder. And so I'll send it back into you guys right now. You know, it's a summer storm. We don't see very much wind at all. Actually, the trees are still. Back to you.
All right, Brad, for sure, a tremendous amount of lightning and thunder coming with these storms moving through. Take a look at the number of lightning strikes, 361 lightning strikes. That's into the areas of eastern Fairfax County, down into Prince William County, Charles County, and right there where reporter Brad Bell is, as well as down south around areas of the southern tip of Calvert and St. Mary's County. A tremendous amount of lightning and thunder. So that's an indication to us that these storm systems are still growing with strength. What storms are we talking about? If you're just now joining us, we've got our full afternoon team here. Meteorologist Steve Rudin, meteorologist Mark Pena, all tracking these storms. The red boxes in where tornado warnings have just been issued. So that includes Fairfax, also Charles County, and for areas of southern St. Mary's County as well as Charles County, several severe thunderstorm warnings remain up. So the very latest here is this tornado warning for Alexandria. That'll be heading into areas of Franconia, as well as Groveton and Huntington, as well as Alexandria. Maybe a lot of wind coming up. You need to find your safe place. Let's go over to meteorologist Steve Rudin now for a look at some of the cameras that we've got showing some of those dark skies.
So, Veronica, here we are. This is our camera over at National Harbor, and we are looking across the river toward Old Town Alexandria. I know Jordan Evans is in the system right now, so we can just keep it on this for right now at this time, and we'll go in a little bit. We'll pull out a little bit here. Of course, there is the Capitol wheel. This is the warned weather maker, the tornado warning that we've been talking about, and we are going to continue to see all this happen as we head through the next half hour to 45 minutes. We are looking at these strong storms that are moving on off toward the east and the northeast, I should say, at 25 miles per hour, and we are going to see these storms once again continue. But Veronica, this is our vantage point, as you can see, and Mark, over toward from National Harbor, looking across the river, and if you look closely, the clouds are moving very, very fast. I am going to move this camera just a little bit for you off toward the east, and we are going to see all this. This is what we're watching right over here. Take a look at this, Veronica. Look at this.
That is definitely a sign that we may be getting some high winds very close to Capitol Wheel area. So you're seeing a little bit of the clouds starting to drop there. We're going to monitor that, of course, with our cameras as well as with our radar. And right now, for portions of our area, we do have a tornado warning that remains up. The last one that was issued was this particular one for Alexandria. It includes Arlington and Fairfax, Virginia. We could come on out and take a look at those warnings over here on Max 1. Currently,
right now, Veronica,
we'll definitely get a loop on that. But folks need to know also. Maybe we could let's go ahead and do a split screen. Let's go ahead and do a split screen because we do want to stay on that image showing what is happening with that cloud structure out there with the Capitol wheel. Let's go ahead and do a split screen. We'll do Max 1 and we'll do that image that you just saw from the Capitol wheel showing the storms, that storm cloud right there starting to drop again. That is the cell that is currently right here approaching areas of southern Prince George's County. So we do have for areas of Alexandria, District of Columbia, severe thunderstorm warning that remains. That'll be until 5 p.m. this evening and until 4:30 for the counties of Burke. It includes Burke. Chance for not just some high winds, but we could be getting some flooding because one of the things we have not mentioned is the flood warning that is up for portions of our area. Flood warning for the district, for Alexandria, as well as the flash flood warning for Fairfax and Prince William County. That'll go until 8 p.m. this evening. So flooding is occurring right now. This is not the time to be getting on the road if you're anywhere in and around D.C. Metro. Steve?
All right, so Veronica, we're watching this area closely. This is the tornado warning Wilson Bridge. This is our vantage point from National Harbor looking toward Old Town Alexandria. If you are watching us right now in Old Town Alexandria in Springfield, this is the time that you need to seek shelter immediately immediately. You need to grab your phone, grab your belongings quickly, head to a basement. If you don't have a basement, you head to the interior of your home where you have no windows, where you are in a closet, in a bathroom. And once again, this is moving off toward the northeast at 25 miles per hour. We're going to watch this, and I think maybe we could take this. You're going to see on the river how the waves are really beginning to pick up. And as the winds from this storm move across, this is going, look how you can hardly see Wilson Bridge right now. What I do have concern are for the people at National Harbor who are on the boardwalk right now, and that it hasn't been cleared, because we're not only going to be looking at these winds, but also I see a boat that's trying to come to dock right now. Visibility hardly anything, and it's literally disappeared in a matter of what, 25, 30 seconds.
30 minutes. So these are just some of the leading storms out ahead of the cold front. So how much longer are we going to be under a severe weather threat from now until 8 p.m. this evening? Monitoring some of the temperatures, of course, throughout the area as well. But if you're, again, just now joining us, we've been telling you about the potential of tornadoes that may be coming through the area right now. This is all based on radar. We have not gotten any confirmed reports yet. We continue to monitor our National Weather Service chat as well as social media, meteorologist Mark Pena. So this particular warning, this tornado warning, here is the areas that will be impacted. Again, you want to find your safe space, your safe place, get down to the lowest level of your home, get down to the basement if you can, impacting areas like Glass Manor, Hillcrest Heights by 440, District Heights by 448, Walker Mill by 451, and then on to 453. That'll be the Cheverly area. So this storm is heading off to the east, northeast, crossing right over some of the roads like 695, 295, right there heading toward areas like Glass Manor and right across Alexandria. Again, this is all happening right now. Some damaging wind gusts taking place. You're seeing the heavy rain, and even up to our north, again, some of the heavy rain in areas of Loudoun County where First Alert Storm Tracker has been on the road this evening. So we've got a couple of hours here of rough weather moving through, and we'll have more on some of the damage reports and cameras.
We could go back to the National Harbor camera. This is the core of the storm that is moving in right now. Can we go to the National Harbor camera? There we go. And you can see how visibility is down to practically nothing. You can no longer see Wilson Bridge. There's a sailboat, if you look just to the right of the National Wheel, and that sailboat's been tossing and turning. And look at the waves getting churned up by these gusty winds, upwards of 60, 70, 75 miles per hour. This is all moving off toward the north and east. Can't stress enough. This is the time you need to seek shelter. If you're watching us right now at National Harbor, lots of hotels there, lots of glass. Do not be in the atrium of the Gaylord Resort Hotel. That is the place you don't want to be during a storm like this. Old Town Alexandria, over towards Springfield. These are the areas that need to definitely seek shelter immediately. I don't want to sound like I'm blowing the horn too much here. We don't see this very often around here. We're capturing it all live for you with our expansive network of cameras. And not only are we looking at these strong, strong winds associated with this tornado warning that is now set to expire. Did it actually expire, Veronica? No, it looks like they're going to carry it on a little bit longer. Here we are at 4:30. So this is the core of the system. I wouldn't be surprised if they make it perhaps a little bit bigger.
Right, and I want to show you a wide view here because the other tornado warning that was up just south of this one now has been allowed to expire. The severe thunderstorm warning that was up for areas of St. Mary's County has been allowed to expire. So what's left is right there what is over areas of the district right now and making its way through Alexandria. This particular storm until 4:45, so we've got another 15 minutes or so pulling east, northeast into Glass Manor, Silver Hill area by 443, Arnold Heights, Capitol Heights. Not only do you have the blinding rain and the reduced visibility, but within that rain, there could be some extremely high winds that may do some damage. Not the time to be on the road and not the time to have your face plastered to the window there, looking out and checking out what's going on. Want to also talk about some of the other severe thunderstorm warnings for extreme St. Mary's County now. We're looking at a tornado possible in this particular warning warning here. So a number of warnings going on throughout the area. This particular one down in St. Mary's County right now, the potential with some 60-mile-per-hour winds and 3/4-inch size hail. And as I zoom in even tighter on this particular storm system, I'll just pop it on the now. You can see from Valley Lee pretty much contains all of, just about all of St. Mary's County, the southern tip there. But that is heading off to the north and east. So cities impacted, Chesapeake Ranch Estates. Again, we'll keep an eye on this particular system also down across St. Mary's County for the next couple of minutes. That severe thunderstorm warning is until 5:15, so about another 45 minutes there. And then, of course, the district with the heavy weather moving through. And up to the north, where Storm Tracker has been on the road, areas of Loudoun County, Montgomery County, still some very heavy rain. So we've got this one round that is going to be moving through from now until 6 p.m. And then there will be the potential for another round later this evening, probably after 7 o'clock and up until 10 p.m. that may bring some isolated heavy rain and flooding. Take a look. You're seeing the heavy rain right now up across portions of Loudoun County. This is live. Our first alert Storm Tracker on the road right now. And it was earlier today, National Weather Service, they put out a statement talking about the chance for some damaging winds. They were talking about the possibility of flooding. So flash flooding does remain a potential here until 8 p.m. this evening for some of that rain. If we could switch back over now to our Capitol wheel camera, our Capitol wheel camera can show some of the sheets of rain coming through the area, just ponding on the road right now. And I just checked out some of the rain rates a few moments ago, showing rain rates, Steve, that were about 1.5 inches upwards 2 inches per hour. So some of you who don't get any of these storms, you may get maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain, while others may get that flooding here this evening with some of the pockets. So right now it's a flash flood warning for Fairfax County, for Prince William County until 8 p.m. this evening. That means flash flooding is occurring right now. Remember what we always say, turn around, don't drown, and a tremendous amount of lightning. But the front itself with this system way back in here in areas of West Virginia right now. And that's the front that's going to be moving through, giving us that other shot of some pockets of heavier rain this evening, maybe even a little bit of wind. But what we're getting now this evening is coming with that warm front that is moving through. You know, it's been a hot, sticky day. It's been the fuel for those storms. And Steve, I know you continue to monitor that camera right there in Prince George's County.
So here we are, and the severe thunderstorm warning, or tornado warning, has now been expanded, I believe, until 4:45, Veronica?
Yes.
And so once again, this is the area that is really under, I mean, the focal point with this big weather maker. And if you are right now over toward National Harbor, Old Town Alexandria, and then more or less moving toward the Andrews Air Force Base area, this storm is moving off toward the northeast at around 25 miles per hour. And we're going to continue to see this storm track, not only with those gusty winds, heavy downpours, and we're also looking at a lot of thunder and lightning. So this is not the time to go outside to capture that perfect picture, although it'd be mighty fine to, of course, get one of those pictures. But it does appear that it looks like this tornado warning that we have is now, is it gone?
It's been canceled.
It's been canceled.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. So the very latest is now that it has been canceled. Good news there. Now we're just left with a handful of severe thunderstorm warnings across the area. And of course, that does include the district right here. Watch it here. The last couple of minutes moving right over D.C. That very heavy rain. So we'll see how this holds together. We'll see if the atmosphere still has enough going on in it to provide some shear as it gets into northern Prince George's County, up around Laurel and Bowie. We're going to watch the cell very closely. I'm not seeing quite as much lightning with it, but still some very heavy rain with it from Mount Vernon into the district. Again, this is all going to be sliding right up areas of I-95, the Parkway, northeast 495 there. That is where the heavy rain is moving to. What about reports of hail, Steve? Have you seen any reports of any hail?
Not right now, not at this point. I want to hold it on this camera here. I should note that we are working on a little bit of a different system here today. Of course, we're going to get you the most information that we can, but even though that tornado warning for National Harbor area, Old Town Alexandria, has now canceled out, we still have that severe thunderstorm warning that can do just as much damage with these gusty winds, Veronica. This is, of course, gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour, and I do suspect that we do have a ground stop at Reagan National Airport at this time, so any planes coming or going, likely not going to be going or lifting off or landing at this point. I'm just going to look at Flight Radar 24 right now, and it gives
While
us...
you do that, I'm going to pick up some of the high winds that we've seen throughout the area. So we have, with our weather system here, as we analyze some of these storms, we can look at some of the high winds have been reported, and 41-mile-per-hour gusts of Fort Belvoir. That's just one of the wind gusts into areas of eastern Fairfax. 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts reported Woodbridge. So whenever you see the chance of winds being this high with some of these storms, National Weather Service will issue, at the very least, a severe thunderstorm warning on them. But of course, with the chance that there were some rotation occurring with them, National Weather Service did put portions of Alexandria, Virginia, under that tornado warning. But again, that has now been canceled. Cherry Hill under their severe thunderstorm warning. Look, winds just over 40 miles per hour also. And that's what I've seen in areas all the way down into Prince William County, down into also areas of the Northern Neck, Dahlgren, your wind close to 40 miles per hour. So again, all this coming through over the last couple of minutes, continuing to track some of the storms here for you. So the very latest now is what's left severe thunderstorm warning. Right here, this one for cities of Alexandria District. That'll last until 5 p.m. this evening. Chance for some high winds, 60-mile-per-hour winds potentially as this moves up into northern Prince George's County. You can see where it's going, right over Route 1, right across areas of I-95 up into you folks around Laurel, Maryland. You'll soon get the heavy rain, Bowie too, and then right on down to the south, now through Waldorf, some moderate to heavy rain. These are rainfall rates, folks, about 1.5 inches to 2 inches per hour. No reports yet of any hail, but if you do happen to see some once the storm passes, of course, we want to see your pictures. We want to see your images. All you have to do is send them on in, upload them to WJLA.com/chime in. But again, very heavy rain continuing to move through. I'm going to step off to the side here, and I'm going to track this particular storm for you right now so that you can see some of that heavy rain that is currently over the district. As it goes north and east, some of these storms moving at about 35 miles per hour. So that'll be on to areas around Chilham, around Vansville, around Bowie and Crofton in the next couple of minutes, as well as Severn, even Glen Burnie into areas of Baltimore County. That is a look right now. Another look, the Beltway, National Harbor. Look at the tremendous amount of rain. I mean, you're under some of these storm cells, and you're seeing just a complete sheet of rain ponding on the roads. Of course, we've seen flash flooding across, and it's probably, unfortunately, not going to be long before we start getting more reports of some of the cars stranded in water because of the high water that is on the roadways right now. I'm going to step out of the way. I'll toss it to Steve, but what I'm going to do just in a moment here is I'm going to take a look at some of the rain amounts that have occurred based on radar over the last couple of minutes. Steve?
All righty. So, Veronica, here we are looking at the wider view for you, and I wanted to start this off and take a look at what's going on around the metro area right now. These are densely populated areas. We're talking city of Fairfax, areas inside the Beltway, Springfield, over toward Bailey's Crossroads, Roslyn, Georgetown. Within the area that we have a flash flood warning, and need to be very clear what a flash flood warning means. It means that flooding is happening now as we speak on roadways that are prone to flooding. This could be a very dangerous situation. GW Parkway, we know what happens during the flood events around here. It becomes very slow. It floods very quickly. Do not cross roadways that are covered with water. On top of that, a vast majority of the district, including DuPont Circle, Logan Circle, LaDroit Park, over toward Trinidad, Anacostia, over toward Deanwood. These are all under severe thunderstorm warnings at this time, and this is until 5 o'clock, so about another 19 minutes to go. And you can see that where it's flashing right now, that this is going to more than likely, Veronica, turn into a big flood event for the area, as opposed to the tornado warnings that we're seeing and the severe thunderstorm warnings. Brand new flash flood warning is now in effect. This is for Berwyn and Chilham, parts of Montgomery County and Prince George's County, also until 8 o'clock. If you're watching us in Lanham, over into Kettering, under the flash flood warning. And then on top top of that, we'll head in a little bit closer here into the district. All the areas up and down Connecticut Avenue, north to south, Silver Spring, all the way down to the White House on 16th Street Northwest, all under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. It extends across the river into southeast D.C., Garfield Heights, over toward Congress Heights, Anacostia, all looking at the severe thunderstorm warning with heavy, heavy rain that continues to fall right now. And before we head over to Veronica, I just want to show you one more thing really quickly on here. And I just want to give you a sweep here with the radar. The brighter the reds, the heavier the rain right now. So this is the area over the district. As you head into Arlington, over into the Cherrydale area, that's where we're also looking at the severe thunderstorm warning at this time. Ballston, Roslyn, Georgetown, and then we're going to continue to see this as I pull this out and we head back over to Veronica. Veronica?
Thanks a lot, Steve. Yeah. So we mentioned some of the heavy, heavy rain that is falling across the area, Steve. Take a look, because severe thunderstorm warnings continue, but the flash flood warnings as well. This is a camera that you're seeing right there in Arlington, Virginia. You're still seeing the sheets of rain just coming down. Folks right now taking shelter rather than get soaked. And of course, there's still some lightning with some of these cells. So that is a live look at some of the heavy rain that has stopped folks taking shelter right now before making their way from the metro onto where they have to go next. What we're left with, this severe thunderstorm warning for the district, this severe thunderstorm warning for areas of St. Mary's County. So at the moment, there are no other tornado warnings that are still up. However, let's go ahead and, sorry about that, we're going to switch over. Let's go ahead and switch over to Max 1 right now. I want to switch over to Max 1, if we can, guys. That's all right. I'll go ahead and drive it. Okay. So here's the very latest. Around the district, again, that very heavy rain. I'm looking at some of the rainfall rates over 2 inches, almost 3 inches per hour. Look at some of the roads here that we're talking about. So we're talking 295, very heavy rain. A lot of traffic on the road right now. You're talking about folks from Chilham to Walker Mill to Clinton, Maryland. And if you were watching just a few moments ago, I said that this is the heavy cell with wind and rain that was likely to move right across northern Prince George's County. For Bowie, for Queen Anne, for Upper Marlboro, now you've got that heavy rain right over areas of Maryland 202, right over Dunkirk area. And then on down to the south, we continue to watch more of that heavy rain into St. Mary's County. Why? Because this particular cell for the last couple of minutes has had tornado possible on it. If you can come out to me, I want to show you that one of the things that we look at sometimes is where there could potentially be some rotation occurring. In this cell here, from areas through Prince George's County, Lexington Park down toward St. George Island. It's moving east-northeast, so it'll soon be out over the open water. But for you folks around Solomons, heads up, you've got maybe some damaging winds coming through your area for Chesapeake Ranch Estates. Great area this time of the year. A lot of schools are still out. Folks vacationing here. Again, some very heavy rain and high winds coming through. Cove Point just before 5 o'clock, that particular cell. So severe thunderstorm warning remains for St. Mary's County until 5:15 because of that storm that I just talked about. And look at the counties shaded in red. I'll go ahead and move this over in just a moment, but let's go through them because flash flooding occurring, a lot of ponding on area roads, flash flood warning for Alexandria, for Falls Church, for Montgomery, for Prince George's County, areas around Chilham, for you folks around Arlington. We just showed you the video a moment ago of some of that very heavy rain. So it just keeps raining, and some areas are getting more heavy rain on top of that. As I just pivot off to the side this way, you can see it's the areas shaded in red under the flash flood warning. Everywhere else, it's a flash flood watch. National Weather Service knew that there would be this potential for some flooding today, so this watch continues through the evening hours. It does include Prince George's County, Anne Arundel County, Howard County, Montgomery County, and again, we've got a list of ground stops here across the area. You're looking at the screen right now. Ground stop in Boston, all part of the same storm system. Ground stop BWI, you betcha. And there's likely to be even some ground stops, I believe, in and around Dulles and Reagan National because of some of the heavy rain that's moving through. Ground stop Chicago O'Hare. Ground stop down around Orlando. Not part of the same system, but as we scroll through, not a good afternoon for flying with how how this particular weather maker is impacting travel. I'm seeing a report now from our folks at the National Weather Service. They're talking about a spotter reported 3.1 inches of rain measured in the rain gauge in Lexington Park. That is this particular cell that I was just talking about a moment ago. 3.1 inches of rain, Lexington Park. So not only do they have the chance for some high winds, damaging winds through St. Mary's County, but also to see some flash flooding occurring there. Steve, is that was that issued a flash flood warning down in that area?
Just want to give over the rainfall totals that we've been talking about over toward Annandale and North Springfield. You know, it's only been raining for about an hour and a half, but over the last 3 hours, technically, I'm going to smack on a few rainfall totals for you. An inch, if not more, in many of these areas, an inch and a half almost, as you head over toward Groveton, closer to an inch and a half. This is max 2 again. We need to go on to max.
Let's go ahead and switch over to max 3, guys.
Yeah, all right, here we go. And this is what it looks like. I do want to talk about now the tornado possible, as Veronica was just talking, over in southern Maryland, St. Mary's County. It includes Chesapeake Ranch Estates over toward Drum Point, if you're familiar. Not as densely populated in this area, but once again, tornado possible with this severe thunderstorm warning. Let's head back to the, I'm going to swing this over here to our palettes and get you some rain totals here in terms of over the last hour or so. This is just 1 hour. This is incredible, Veronica, when I look at this here, and I zoom in just a little bit closer, and you go over toward Bailey's Crossroads, and of course we do the query here, and I'm just going to punch some numbers up on here. 1.5 inches of rain, over 2 inches of rain over toward Arlington Boulevard, over, if you're familiar with this area. That's in 1 hour or so. So, of course, you're going to find a lot of localized flooding with this. And then on top of that, we also have that very heavy rain over toward southern Maryland, areas that are also under the warned area. And we'll head in just a little bit over here, if you know where Ripley Road is, or Annapolis Woods Road, over toward Poorhouse Road. I'm just going to query this real quickly here, and upwards of 2.5 inches. This is just in the past hour, so not even 60 minutes have gone by, and we are going to see this continue, this heavy rain, as we head through the next let's say hour or two. But I do believe that the greatest threat as we head through the next several hours, Veronica, it's going to be a flood event, I believe, for the area, along with the heavy, heavy rain. But if you look off toward the north and west, it is much, much quieter, but it's mainly concentrated 95 corridor, the district, Arlington, Alexandria, and then throughout Prince George's and then southern Maryland.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, Steve. I mean, I mentioned some of the high rainfall rates. What I am seeing, though, is a lot less lightning with this particular storm as it moves out of the district and up around areas of northern Prince George's County. So right now we've got a handful of severe thunderstorm warnings that are still up, and down south, that one for St. Mary's County. Still watching it. It's about ready to head out over the open water. Good news, because it had the potential to produce some flash flooding and even some high winds right now. Your heaviest rain right here, Lanham, Cheverly, Walker Mill, Chilham. Very heavy rain moving through northern Prince George's County, and then eventually up into Anne Arundel County. We'll continue to watch it, of course, jump in during the newscast should any other tornado warnings be issued.